Oh, this is Lou. It's Meraki Pharmacy. It's Tuesday, so it's Tuesday tea time. I gotta go get my tea. You're gonna come in. Elle's ready. I want to finish this cigarette and grab my tea. Come on in, everybody. Kinga, do you want to make an appearance now or later? To be determined. Come on in for tea time. It's the most wonderful time of Tuesday. Oh, yeah. Woo! Sometimes I like to take a stone or crystal or other cool thing. Today we're using this rose quartz egg. And when I make my tea, I then, so you can see it, I do that. Yeah. And I don't know. It's cute. I also, fucking science magic stuff. Come on in. Elle's here. Miss Ellie Brown. Okay, so Allie and Elle. So Wandering Rootlings that's Allie. So I just learned something about Allie. I'm going to blow up your spot for a second. Allie is a Sagittarius. Hi, Dan. Rose quartz is totally what I need. What's up, Dan? So Allie is also a Sagittarius. And I was like, I think that you're a seeker. And Allie's not sure. I don't know Allie well enough to know if they're a seeker. But Elle's got Sag energy too. What's up, Dan? Dan, I just set up your oh, and Heather's here. Dan, your Maricon muscle rub is going out tomorrow, and I'm so pumped. I saw a video of you splitting wood, which is like my favorite thing to do, probably in almost the universe. This is exciting. You can put it on calluses and stuff too. I'll write you a little note. Come on in, friends. I have some tea. What I have today is Dandelion, which is great with the liver. Dandelion is tenacious. It helps flush things. It's awesome. I really like Dandelion. There's just something about a dandelion, you know what I mean? I have rose petal. I have rose petal in here. Yes, Andy's here. Andy has tea. Andy tried to convince me to do tea time in the tub. And legit, if I had more rubber duckies and or bubblies, I'm considering it. So we'll see. Tea time in a tub definitely is going to happen. So we got dandelion, we got rose. I put some lemon balm, which is like a really chill nervine and also helps with indigestion, which I'm not necessarily experiencing. I don't even really know what I'm experiencing, but yeah, rose has a ton of vitamin C, especially the rose hips. So like rose petals and then like that mature, lovely ball of seed that is rose hips. So some people use teapots and stuff. I really love the ritual of tea. I also have so many jars that this is usually how I roll. Down here, I just have this like beautiful mug that a friend made for me. And he makes really rad ceramic stuff too. And I just have a strainer. And like, that's how I roll with the tea. You can always add honey. You can infuse things in honey too. That's like a great way to add medicine things and connect with more plants. Also, all my New England pals, syrup. Maple syrup is also medicinal. Kinga, do you want to say hi? Kinga's just like eating an animal at my butt cheek. All right. Peppermint tea and honey. Yes. Cheers. Thank you everyone for coming in. I'm sure we'll have more folks join us as we go. If you've never been to tea time before, so I'm Lou. This is Meraki Pharmacy. And what we do on Tuesdays is we share a cuppa and we talk about cosmic currents. We talk about stuff. We talk about life, but really, like, I was thinking about this today in the tub where I do some of my best thinking. Cheers, booze. It's too hot to drink yet. And while we mostly really talk about, like, yeah, we talk about plants because plants are freaking awesome. They're friends, they're allies, they're the best teachers I've ever had. We've co-evolved with plants for thousands and thousands of years. Plants are the bomb. And we also talk about connecting with nature. And we talk about our bodies. My brother just joined. This is a whole thing. Yo, what's up, Kevo? Everybody say hi, Kevo. Me and Kev, we're like 2.5 years apart. He's younger than me, but like really, he's the oldest. Oh, I miss you, dude. Thanks for coming to tea time. I was just saying what we do here. We have a tea. If you want to drink water, if you want to drink a beer, like whatever, martinis, have a cuppa, hang out with us. We talk about what's going on. We talk about plants. We talk about dogs. We talk a lot about accountability was actually the word I realized. We talk about accountability and really a lot of personal accountability. Because, like, right, this is an ongoing thing. Shit is savage out there. There are so many things that stress us out, that are really, really difficult to navigate. A lot of things, especially in society, we want to affect change, and that's a long haul game. Every day, we have choice. And that's pretty much like the big scoop of what we talk about here. So, I try and stay in my lane and be really mindful of what my scope of practice is. I am not a guru. I'm not selling you anything. I mean, like, please buy things from the pharmacy shop, especially this holiday season. But I'm your peer. I'm here. We're doing this together. One of the things I love the most about tea time is I just gab and go on and on and on. You contribute a shit ton that's awesome. But what I really, really love, and this is organic, this is you folks doing it. You say hi to each other. You're involved. You engage with each other. You're making friendships. It's the shit. It's the shit. It's freaking awesome. And that being said, you know, as we move into winter, as we're going into the holidays times, whatever sort of holidays you celebrate or don't celebrate, cool. This year has continued to be a year of years. And this year, you know, we're probably not going to be socializing the way that we usually do during, you know, the holidays. We're not going to see all our people. We're not able to, right? And that makes this sort of totally weird space even more powerful. We are social animals. I'm pretty introverted, believe it or not. However, we can appropriately, creatively, innovatively use the digital tools we have available to build relationship, to sustain relationship, to exchange, to tell stories, to connect emotionally, mentally, philosophically. It's going to become more and more important. Also, I guess, like Age of Aquarius stuff. So, I'm a tech dinosaur. But I am super, super grateful for you being here and sharing yourselves and your time. This might be cool enough to drink. Cheers to you. Oh, yeah. So, one thing about tea is there's like actual tea leaves. There's like the tea plants. I use tea really to mean that I'm making a hot water infusion of whatever plants I feel called to use. Whatever you're into is fine. Last week we tried something new where I gave some guiding questions, and that was cool. Some people were like, yeah, that was totally neat. And I'm pretty sure we stuck to it last week. This week, I had a hard time deciding on some guiding questions. I wanted to talk about the Scorpio New Moon because Scorpio so much embodies shadow work and the dark and the subconscious, and it's ruled by Pluto and all these things. And I was like, all right, we've been talking about shadow work ongoing, like since summer solstice, which isn't necessarily the season for shadow work, but it's always a good time to dive into yourself and check your shit and grow and be the best human that you can be, right? Like, don't have to wait till November to do it. But this is a particularly potent historically, traditionally. This is like what we do this time, right? Like we're getting ready. There's death surrounding us, and in the natural world, death always leads to more life. You know, we tend to hibernate a bit more. Weather changes, all those things. Time of ancestors, great time to go into the dark in all those ways. And then I decided I didn't want to talk about that because I'll continue to be transparent. I decided not to go there because I am having a fucking time again, still. And I didn't feel super emotionally or mentally available for shadow work talk this week. The moon also moved into Sagittarius, and Sagittarius, like the characteristics of that are the seeker. It's the centaur. It's, you know, the arrow pulled back, aiming for the goals, aiming for the big adventure. I got a shit ton of Sagittarius. I'm like Stellium over here. Moon, rising, Jupiter, Uranus, and Neptune. So I was feeling that. So I was like, all right, my guiding question for you, and if you didn't see it and you don't want to go there, that's fine. Hang out anyway. This is a loose structure. But so the question was, what things do you bring with you on your adventures? And I don't necessarily mean your physical adventures, but we can totally talk about that. I bring boo-boo balm and my dog and snacks and waterproof matches and a couple knives and an axe and always have a can of gas. That's what I bring on my physical adventures. Socks, really important. You gotta have good socks, dry socks. What I really meant is, what do you bring with you into these journeys into the unknown? Whether it's your own subconscious, unconscious, your own darkness, the things that maybe you're afraid of within you, the things that you've been taught, socialized, conditioned to think are bad, undesirable, unacceptable, that shit, right? So, or like diving into any sort of like mental, emotional, psycho-spiritual journey is really what I mean. So I'll give you a minute to think about that. I'll tell you what I bring. I don't really know. Higher power. Thank you, Allie. I bring hope. Hope is not a strategy. Hope doesn't necessarily make things happen, but hope is important. So is optimism. So is a willingness to have no control, I think, of outcome, right? Or as less, the least amount of attachment to outcome as you could have. Flexibility, a go with the flowness, yes, a surrender. An acceptance that you're making this choice to do this, but you don't know how that's going to go. But you're here for it. That dedication. Curiosity. Fuck yes. Curiosity is... We could talk about that for like at least an hour, I feel like. I think a lot of us, I can't speak for your experience, but you ever hang out with a kid? Why? How? When? Why? How? That curiosity, I think, often gets conditioned out of us as we grow, and sort of depending on the conditions that are socializing you, conditioning you, whether it's religion or teachers or government, that external stuff. A lot of people are taught not to ask questions and to not be curious. Yes, hope is like a floaty. Yes, I was going to say it's like a buoy. I love it. Yes. Oh, I love you guys. This is the best. Chaos and questioning. Yeah, so what I'm seeing is like a combination of like, oh no, but I'm here, right? And also like an anchor point of I'm here. And what happens is what happens. And we're going to grow. We're going to learn. It's probably going to be uncomfortable and suck. And also really fantastic. I was thinking about like talismans and stuff. Like I got my rose quartz that I put on my tea. And I said something the other night. Oh, this new moon in Scorpio. If you've been hanging out, let me tell you, Scorpio season fucks my shit up. I've been talking a little bit about it. This new moon, I knew stuff was coming. I say this often, like, I just, you know something's coming and you think you're prepared or you think you're ready or you think you know how it's going to shake loose. And it's very humbling when you are reminded that you don't. You don't know. And not knowing is okay. I think it's super sexy to say, I don't know. It's also sexy to know stuff. But I think it's sexier to be like, I don't know. So Scorpio, I mean, all right, I know, like, I'm not an astro nerd, but I think part of, like, the bigger picture and, like, whatever level of astro nerd you are, astrology is like, I'm more into like the evolutionary astrology, so big picture, big pattern stuff, and Saturn, Pluto, Jupiter conjunction, so they're all together in Capricorn, is a big deal. It's a big generational evolutionary paradigm shift, big deal. Tarot cards and candles and a space to meditate. Yes. Yes. Oh, Allie. This is awesome. So in case I actually save this and post it for later, folks aren't here to see the special magic. Our friend is sharing, I try to remember that I am safe no matter where I am. Can I ask more questions on that? Because, that's fucking huge. How do you give yourself a sense of safety and security within yourself, independent of external factors? How do we do that for ourselves, right? I mean, and when I say independent of external factors, I guess what I really mean is like independent of people or like an external authority. Because I think like tarot, external, you're connected to spirit for sure. I just kind of mess around with tarot, but candles are way more than just candles, right? Rocks, talismans. So what I mean by talismans is like I wear a hawk pendant every day, because that's my kin, and this little piece of pyrite, I don't know, that stuff. I think this is like, I love how we always talk about these external things and also these deeply, deeply personal things. So like, because safety, a sense of safety and security, right, to some people, it's like very material. And for a lot of, and again, I don't want to speak for your experience or lump us all in. We're not a monolith, right, of people here. We're all different and unique, but again, there's like a dedication and growth and a willingness to do scary, uncomfortable stuff. And so a sense of safety and security means different things, I guess is what I'm saying. Ooh, anchor cards. I think one thing, and again, I'm not a master, but one thing that I would offer, safety comes with some great and hard inner child work. Can we be friends in real life too? Hitting it, nailing it. Yeah. So, we were all kids once, and we were raised by hopefully really well-meaning people, but there are people with various different kind of skills and with their own trauma and their own conditioning and their own crap. And not a lot of people make it out of childhood like in their natural innate form. I'm laughing and it's not funny actually. What's cool about you as a kid is still in here. Very, very much so. And we reparent ourselves. Yes, thank you for using the word. Yeah, reparenting ourselves can lead to a sense of safety within ourselves. Yes, especially for folks with traumatic childhoods. We're doing it. Okay, so hi, I'm Lou. Childhood trauma. You can talk with your inner child. You can make art with your inner child. You can do so many things. Every day, do something really joyous and playful. Tell yourself, great job. I love how brave you were with that. A lot of the times when we're feeling super, super, super intense, we're having a really, really intense emotional experience, I think there is often a line that goes back to our childhoods. Carl Jung, when he talks about the subconscious and shadow work, a lot of that stuff is laid down during childhood, and we all have it. Just like we all have a mental body, so we all have mental health, right? We all have some level of wounding of from our childhood. Ooh, okay, yes. And like rebuilding trust within yourself. And a great way to rebuild trust is to continue taking calculated strategic risks and trying new things. Yeah, I battle with that a lot too. Thank you for sharing that. That's really, yeah. Sometimes I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Are you making a bad decision again? And it's a dance, and you got to figure out how to do that and hear and listen, and listening to the body, the wisdom of your body. But then that also sometimes gets, yes, Taryn's here. That's also sometimes gets really, really tricky, especially if you experienced trauma during childhood, right? Because often we learn our bodies aren't safe, or we have a trauma stress response, right? That, dude, I love you, but the squeak I can't do right now. Can we pick a different toy, Kinga? Hi, drop it. Drop it. Drop it. Thank you. It gets extra complicated, right? Because we have these totally natural, normal stress responses. And then as we go through life, right? We're like, it's hard for me to spit this out. I'll speak just personally. Sometimes I'm like, I don't know if this is my like fucking gut instinct. This worked in the past and saved my ass from fucking danger, or if I am remembering that and relating it to what is happening right now, and I can choose a different response that still gives me a sense of safety, but that is more appropriate to what is happening in the present. And that is why PTSD, CPTSD, real as fuck, public health pandemic #1, super complicated and ongoing, and there's no one right answer. Yeah, often trauma totally disconnects us from our body and our body wisdom, for sure. Because in a different way, right? Because you're like, it is fight or flight or freeze or fawn. It is a very, very specific series of chemical responses in your body that we want. We need that. It literally saves our ass sometimes. And then as we go through life, right, and we're in different conditions, we gotta check those adaptations and those responses, because sometimes they're no longer appropriate. And it's hard to discern. It's very, very hard to discern. And will probably be tits deep in that my whole life. We'll see. There's no finish line. It's not linear, right? We explore these different practices and show up every day. This is what we're doing. This is what we're doing. Oh, am I breathing? Breath. It sounds so lame, but conscious breathing is grounding and can give a sense of calm and a sense of safety and security within your body. I highly recommend somatic experiencing therapy for anyone who has experienced trauma of any kind, and especially if you just experience chronic stress. I forgot I didn't want to do that with you, Kinga. Hi, can I have it? Let's pick a different toy. Hold on for 1 second, folks. Let's pick a different toy that doesn't have a squeaky. Everything has a squeak. Not this monkey. There you go. To do this stuff is a gift. Surviving trauma is a gift. Wound wisdom is a gift. Which is the gift? Hi, Taylor. I know rad people. I'm a lucky duck. Yes. Oh, deep breath. Yes. I agree with all these statements coming in. Deep breaths is a gift. Oh my gosh. I mean, I feel like some of you can relate to this. Also, Miss Maz is absolutely a fucking gift. She's fucking, Taryn is an angel. You're all gifts. Cheers. Thank you again for being here. I like that we start off kind of being like, hey, what's up? Da, da, da. And then within 5 minutes, we're so deep. So deep. It's very, very, very awesome. And I appreciate your vulnerability and honesty, because that lets me know you trust me. And that's a gift. You trusted me, that's a gift. Big gift. I have never been to a yoga studio. And I totally have made fun of people who practice yoga, because I'm fucking twit sometimes. There is not one thing that helps. There's not one magic bullet. There's not one plant. There's not just like one thing. And also, if you're like, I don't even know where to start, or you're like, I need more tools in my toolbox, yoga is a powerful tool with the focused intention of regulating the nervous system, your nervous system, of coming home to your body. Because this is a sacred space and it is yours. And it is absolutely unfucking acceptable for it to be violated in any way. In any way. One thing I think happens to a lot of us, especially with childhood trauma, is we dissociate. And there's tons of different ways to dissociate, but I'm talking like literally leaving your freaking body, because what you are experiencing as a child is so scary, is so terrifying that, and your body, like, we're built to survive and adapt, right? So you check out. And again, there's various levels, and I don't want to speak for your experience, but dissociation is a survival mechanism. And there is nothing wrong with you or your body if that is how you adapted to totally abnormal, scary shit. I lived probably 30 years totally disconnected and dissociated from my body. That is a hard thing to explain to people who don't relate, and I'm glad that they don't relate, but y'all seem to. Any movement, any connecting with your breath and movement, it seems so simple, and I don't at all mean to be insulting, because like when I am experiencing a flashback, I'm not like, I gotta do yoga, let me just downward dog. Like, it's very, very, I'm not at all taking away from how difficult it is to grab these things and use them when we are in a hyper aroused, hyper vigilant, scared, triggered, and I do mean triggered. I don't mean like pop culture triggered. I do mean triggered. It is very, very difficult to be like, I'm going to do yoga right this second, right? But can you take a breath? Can you orient to the space around you? Can you notice your feet even for a minute? I mean, anything. And we talk about this almost every week now, right? That like, when things are calm or calmer or just like less shit is hitting the fan, those are the times to do yoga. That is the time to practice your breathing. That is the time to make a whole ritual of tea time and everything. I didn't mean to diss you, Kinga. Come into the frame. Come. Yeah, so people know what's going on. Kinga's crazy. Yeah, there's various levels of dissociating. Scrolling through the feed. I mean, like, binge watching TV can all be dissociative, right? And, like, it's okay to take breaks. It is okay to be mindless for a wee bit of your day. But when that is totally normalized in our culture, not healthy, not cool. Any way that you can connect with that inner child, playing, making art. What did you like to do as a kid? What were some of your hobbies? What did you enjoy? You know, sometimes like after a particularly intense therapy session or something, or, you know, just like something, I'm reminded of the sadness, like the depth of pain that I still carry. Like I'll literally take me and my inner child, same person, like out on a date. Sometimes I will go to Wendy's and I will get a freaking kids meal. Okay. Now, should I be eating that food? No. But like in the spectrum of stuff, like it's a thing. Or, reading kids books is always cool. I don't know. There's so many different ways to do all of that. However you can connect with that part of you. Even like looking at pictures, like a lot of people have like family altars and stuff. And like I include a picture of my younger selves. Yeah, we just need our own love, right? Like, oh, young 40-year-old me, I feel how sad you are, and it is okay to be sad, and I love you. And like literally freaking hold yourself. You know, treat yourself and treat yourself as that child that you were, and give yourself unconditional love. All the compassion. Do not judge. Do not, fucking be there, Yo, I'll totally get kids' meals together and go play with any of you. And like, maybe I'm just offering this is not advice. I'm just offering my perspective and shit that I've done. I also will buy toys. Also, if you have pets in your life or kids, like, get on the floor and play with them. Be silly. Make silly faces. Put on costumes. Let your kid, chances are, right, like, in those moments, or if it was, like, ongoing and chronic, right, like, you didn't get to do normal kid stuff. Like, there wasn't a shit ton of innocence and joy and play. I hope that there were moments for you, at least, geez, like I was saying today. I don't really, I know I had a childhood, because fucking chronological time, but man, there's some shit, like, I didn't get to relax and just be a kid, in a lot of respects. So however I can give myself that in a responsible way, because sometimes that looks like me totally blowing off my adult obligations. It's slippery slope. And again, so playing with your inner child and the body relational healing, bubble baths, sit and color. I worked on the kids inpatient unit at a mental hospital, and let me just tell you about color time. Also playing Monopoly. Coloring is never just coloring. And it doesn't matter what you're coloring. Just have fun. Be joyous and be free with no judgment. I mean, that's what your inner child needs the most. And your attention. Because there's the other thing. And if any of you are have done or studied or practice internal family systems and stuff, like, these parts of ourselves that are wounded and splintered off, if we don't listen to them and give them ourselves, they're parts of us, if we don't give ourselves what we need, it will be demanded in some way. And it is part of our responsibility. Yes, there's a lot of coloring in adult inpatient also, because coloring is awesome and it's very therapeutic. It's like, it's one of those things, right? That's like kind of a universal joyous activity. When we're not paying attention, I mean, like, why would you not want to pay attention to yourself? But we get scared and we get overwhelmed, and I avoid like a motherfucker sometimes. But if you keep avoiding and you keep repressing and you keep not wanting to go there, those needs are going to get met in some way. So it might as well be met consciously with your directorship, with your management, you steering the ship, than it coming out in less than productive ways. Or those needs being demanded to be met inappropriately, or from people it's not really their job. Like, if you're in partnership, man, like, cool. I hope your partner is super, super supportive. It is not your partner's responsibility to reparent your inner child. And your inner child is gonna want that, right? Preventative care is freaking huge. Yes, I mean, shit fucking happens. The more we practice these things every day when shit is cool, the easier it is to grab when things are really hard. Yeah, I remember when I was married once, and we went to marriage counseling, and the therapist said that we should watch Inside Out together, which is a great movie. He didn't want to watch it with me, though. We're no longer married. That's not why, though. I mean, that's part of why. No, it's Squeaky. I got King of this duck, and it's her favorite toy, and I thought we lost it. And we just found it tonight, so King is very, very interested in Duck Duck. How is the pace with all of this? Am I all over the place? Are we cool? Do you need me to shut the fuck up for a second? Napping is, I think, absolutely preventative care and very important. And I hope that part of the new paradigm that apparently we're all here to usher in and, you know, like, switch up the capitalist systems and stuff, I hope it includes nap time. I think, you know, nap time's really important. And if it's not nap, like, just go chill for a bit. You know, like, 2 o'clock, I'm kind of done with all this shit anyway. And then by 7, I'm like, all right, I'm ready for round 2 or round 3. You know, it's good. Ooh, a need for perfectionism. Oof. I don't know that beast. Oh, you guys are the best. This is great. Rest is absolutely important work. And like, fuck this whole you are your productivity stuff. Yo, did you breathe through that stressful situation? Successful. Did you eat some food today? Success. Did you reparent yourself? Highly fucking productive. Highly productive. And the whole like 9 to 5 does not like account for like, yo, you can shout everything. Oh, like, hi. You can shout. There's no apologies here. I mean, unless you like did some. Rest is super freaking important. Rest is mandatory. There are things that we like literally cannot do when we are awake. I think too, like, side note, right? It takes time to process. Takes time to process. You need to give your whole body and being time to process things. And with all of this stuff, ooh, I love you too. Giving your time to process things, especially this year, is a great example. Apparently, like, a lot of people are learning new things about our nation that they weren't aware of before. And there's this sense of urgency, right? Or like another example, if I learn something new about my own shit, I'm like, I gotta solve this. There's a sense of urgency because we want to, one, take action with this new information, which is super cool. We also don't want to be uncomfortable, right? So if we take action and we can solve it and we do it with this sense of urgency, then we're being productive and we're on it and we're saving it and we're very clearly taking this seriously and doing something. It's like, bro, like, we're gonna like let that settle in for a second. let it settle in. And rest allows us to do that. And if rest is hard because you run hot or like closer to the hypervigilant, hyper-aroused, this is where nervines, plant nervines, can be really, really, really helpful. Because they're not necessarily like sedatives, right? But they just slow it down. Slow it down. It widens the window so that we can respond more appropriately. And any way that we can give ourselves widen that window just a little bit. That's why it's like, sometimes it's annoying when people say it to me in the moment. They're like, Lou, take a breath. And I'm like, oh, right. I haven't breathed in about a minute or two. I should take a breath. Oxygen to the brain is helpful. Also, we want a working relationship with our nervous system, right? And with our limbic system. And so when your limbic system is like, dude, danger, high alert, freak out, run. And you're like, it's not, you don't have to do that, right? It's an appropriate situation where it's a little bit scary, but running is not going to save you. Like it's not what's happening. Taking a breath tells your body and that system like, hey, I'm paying attention and I'm observant, and yeah, this is really uncomfortable, like this is kind of messed up, but I don't need to run right now. I don't need to fight right now. We're not quite there. Again, easier to say, harder to practice. It's a practice. I need all the rubber duckies. Oh, and then maybe Kinga will get in the tub, which she probably won't. And then it would be like the best tea time ever. All in the tub. Andy, can I get a time check? There's a clock in here, but it doesn't work, and that's how I like it, because time isn't real. I like to ask Andy for things. $7:41. Time goes by really quick. All right. Here's what we're going to do. Yes. Yes. So breathing allows us to respond, right? Instead of react. And sometimes we want to react, right? This is where it gets fucking hard and it's complicated because we're discerning all the time, right? Or trying to be discerning, right? And it happens very, very quick. It's always a good time to take a deep breath. It gives us just that little bit of time to reassess the situation, for sure. This is great. Let's take a couple more minutes. I'm going to be quiet. If you have questions or some closing-ish thoughts, because then I want to just give you a little bit of information and close out in a less awkward way than I have been doing, because it ends up being like, hi, love you, thanks for coming. Okay, I'll see you soon. Okay, it's like that. I'm that dude. We talked about the importance of breathing, connecting with our bodies, reparenting our inner child. We started off with talking about what we bring with us on the energetic, emotional, psycho-spiritual adventures. I bring Kinga everywhere. Kinga brings her duck. And what was shared was curiosity, willingness to go with the flow. Someone said higher power, faith. Did we say curiosity? Bringing that curiosity into our journeys, especially of the dark night of the soul variety. Yeah, Kinga needs a major adventure. I thought that being self-employed was going to make Kinga's life the best, but then we do all this fun stuff and then we don't, and she's like, why? why is we not playing all the time? I'm thinking about getting her a puppy. I don't want a puppy. I think Kinga wants a puppy. Also, I think there's a lot of deer outside right now, and Kinga wants to chase them. And she's also really excited that she found her duck. So am I. This is great. So that I thought that was a really, really wonderful short. I know we like talk about so much in a short amount of time. So I like it. I love it. I want some more of it. I think we should keep doing this Tuesdays at 7. Probably do some guiding questions. I keep meaning to implement all these things, and I'm still definitely finding my own flow of all of this. But I love this time together, and it's a very, very sweet, organic, natural flow. And you make it that way. This is because of you. If you enjoy this, keep coming back. Turn on notifications, follow, hang out. There is a Patreon now, which I haven't really talked about it because I feel all sorts of weird about it, and I feel a little I don't know, but we'll talk about that maybe next time. I'll get my ish together. But if you enjoy this and you want to send some resources my way, Venmo is listed in the bio. The shop is open. There's tons of yummy stuff that's also very, very, very helpful. Next week, I will talk more about the holiday time and how important it is to support local makers, support your friends, buy from small business. This is always important, and it is so extra, extra important this year. We're going to talk about that a little bit next week. And I'm thinking about that time. I'm thinking about the best ways to have like tons of stuff for you ready to rock, different kits. We can customize things. I would love to like do all of that and have that out to you by like December 10th. But we'll talk more about that, and I'm just giving you like some teething biscuits, some chew toys. And I think soon we're gonna start. I'm gonna have a guest during tea time in December before the next round of eclipses in the Gemini Sag axis. Hi, lunar nodal return. I'm also trying to get my sister, who is a doctor, to come be a guest. And she is in LA. And so it might be like a special edition week. Anyway, there's fun, cool stuff coming up. And yeah, I appreciate you. I'm going to end with a poem. I didn't write this poem. This is a poem from the book Bestiary by Donica Kelly. It's a really, really, really cool book. Yo, thank you for being here very, very much. Ooh, other things. There's podcasts coming up. If any of you ever want to do anything together, let's do it. DM me, email me. Thank you. Every week is so extra freaking cool. And it's because of you guys, you folks. Sorry, I'm queer as fuck. I say guys, to me it's a gender neutral term, and forgive me. Closing out on the poem. It is called Love Poem, Centaur. Nothing approaches a field like me. Hard gallop, hard chest, hooves and mane and flicking tail. My love, I apprehend each flower, each winged body, saturated in a light that burnishes. I would make a burnishing of you, by which I mean a field and flower, by which I mean a breaching, my hands making an arrow of themselves, rooting the loosened dirt. I would make for you the barest of sounds, wing against wing, there at the point of articulation. Love, I pound the earth for you. I pound the earth. Thank you, Donica Kelly. This book is amazing. And on that note, my friends, cheers to you. I love you. Thank you for being here. And I'll see you really, really, really soon. Do you want to get in here? Come here, Kinga. Kinga, come. Get in the frame, Kinga. Kinga, say bye. Come here. Closer. Closer. Good night. Love you. Bye.